Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video as it's snowing out here. For select men, the nature of women hasn't changed in centuries. For select men, right? And notice I have that qualifier on there because, yeah, for some men, they have changed. And that's one of the things I'm seeing. And in all fairness, because I've constantly said the game hasn't changed, constantly, but then I'm coming from a select perspective. Shoot, a select perspective. But a lot of guys, if they on that non-select thing, oh, it's changed a lot. And you know, the Genesis are even talking about this. Wait a minute, hold on for a second. Yeah, I just had to cough because you know how it is out here. And somebody cough and stuff. Just go. Yeah, one of my gym buddies and stuff, he leaving. It's starting to snow out here, and he on a motorcycle. So he said, shit, he got to get home. Yeah, to get home. But anyway, right, the genesis of me even talking about this was something else, right? Because I remember I did that video last week talking about the men who get the most sex. And then invariably, there's always one person on there. Or, well, I get that like here and there every time, or I've even seen it in the comments or some other body talking about me, bringing up my name. Said, well, Rom, he's older. He don't know what's going on out here. Bama, please. Bama, please. Because, you know, the person has specifically said something about, well, Generation Z and Generation Y. And I just bust out laughing. And I say, you know what? I don't even feel like dignifying it. So I just delete. But check it out, right? Check it out. I was thinking about, like, I know exactly what's happening with Gen Z and Gen Y. Because y'all usually see me in the car video or maybe on the couch video. But y'all don't see me the rest of the day. The only clue about what I do the rest of the day might be something here and there on IG. And usually I'm with my sons. But then there's some other groups I'm with too, which will prove my point about what I'm about to say. When I'm out and about, when I'm just in my area, now I've told people I live in Bel Air, Maryland, Harford County. Sometimes I head down to Baltimore. Sometimes I head some other places. Might go down as far as DC sometime, right? Just to hang out. Most of the women that I interact with that you could at least say I'm at least high friends with. A high friend, somebody you can at least say hi. They like see you, they hi something, and then acquaintances, then actual friends. But the majority of women I know are either like Gen Y or Gen Z. Millennials, or I forgot what they call the youngins, but you know, either one or the other. The majority. And then when I look at like my divorce was finalized in like very early 2015. So the women that from that point who I got play from, dated and had sex, and real quick, got play from means there was a possibility of it going forward. And just real quick, for anybody talk games, sometimes you can talk to a woman, interact with them, but you know, it don't really pan out to anything. It could be for 1,000 reasons. There's no particular reason. Sometimes you just gotta have good timing for stuff. Shit, it's coming down harder. Let me get where I gotta get. Right? And you know. So, but whatever the thing, you know, got plenty of play. The women I was getting play from, women I dated, and the women who actually went as far as sex with were mostly, I'm saying most, not all, mostly millennials. Mostly in an age range from 26 to 35. Mostly. Not all, of course, because unlike some guys, I don't have a problem dealing with a woman my age. And remember I mentioned something about IG. Anybody who got any questions about that, because I know how people get into the whole, well, where's the receipts? Where's the receipts? Check out my IG. Go in the description box for my IG, because I know a lot of people do that any damn way. Just take a trip through there. Like most of the videos are like inspirational videos, but It's either inspirational videos or videos hanging out with my sons or something, but there's quite a few where I'm hooked up with some young woman, millennial. Quite a few. And shoot, even older women, it's like a couple older women around my age I'm hooked up with. One's a silver fox, like better shape than most 20-year-olds. So, you know, you just take a trip through there. But my point is, I know how they interacting. And see, that's just the thing, because you get some guys and they thinking, well, you know, you don't know how these women are out here. Well, yeah, I do. Like, just hanging out in the neighborhood, right? Just hanging out just where I go. Like I said, I know a lot of people. See, even though I've said I'm introverted, I'm also extroverted. I'm more of an ambivert. So I'm always talking to people. And that's where I go. Like, I'm coming from the gym now. Know plenty of young ladies in there who are Gen Z. And they be like, hey, Ron, hey, Ron, hey, Ron. Shit. Go into a grocery store now. Plenty of young ladies in there. Gen Z. Like, hey, Ron, hey, Ron, hey, Ron. You know, go to another grocery store on the way back from that grocery store. Hey, Ron, hey, Ron, hey, Ron. And then the restaurant, shit. I walk in, I know some there, some young girls there. And I'm going to tell you what, it's so bad around here. And I meet so many, like if I meet a young lady, the first thing that come up in my conversation is, oh, so you in school? And like, I'm actually right now, right to the right of me is Harford County Community College. So usually if they look real young, I got to ask one or the other. And I usually get, if they say the college, then I'm like, shh. But sometimes they be saying, oh yeah, I'm in high school. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, my son's in high school. I got to check. That's how much I be meeting them. But then I'm cool with some, because even on my IG, I got quite a few like Gen Z young ladies who follow me. And see, I'm Uncle Rom to them too. I don't even be trying to mess with them. I don't even be trying to mess with them. See, I know a lot of other guys my age want those young girls and stuff. I'm like, oh, because the young girls be wanting like some serious stuff and shit. I don't want no more kids. Yeah, seriously. They be like wanting serious relationships, and they be like flings. Something about me. So I'll be like, it ain't worth it. Seriously. Yeah, of course I'm behind a salt truck. But, you know, I'm talking to them and they telling me what's going on. I be giving them advice. And then, of course, like I said, millennials. And then people don't realize something about me. I know their nature. A third of the people who hit me up for consultations and stuff are women. Millennial women. In fact, that's how I know. So when somebody says something like might not know what's going on with them, I'm like, nah, they the same. And interacting with them, I'm like, I don't see any difference between them now and what they say and what they do and what they were doing in the 70s, 80s, 90s, the early 2000s. I don't see a bit of difference. But then I had to think about it. I said, okay, I don't see a difference. And then I talked to other men who are definitely select. And just to be clear, these men are select across racial categories. And they see the same thing I see. So they're like, I don't know what's wrong with these young guys. And seriously, they all say that. But then I said, okay, I ain't going to just say the guy's crazy. I'm going to be fair. I'm like, really look at it. But then it, you know, and I ain't seen this before. And it was on an old blog of mine, on my website. In fact, I'm gonna share the blog. Fuck that. It's called The Female Gaze. Right? And the biggest change, honestly, and it really affects non-select men, is that used to be a man to get a woman, all he really needed was the willingness to provide for, have some money, job, steady do. That's all he really needed. You know? And a woman would at least deal with him. Female gaze has been freed. They've changed up, because if a guy was, you got a lot of guys, they relying on all that stuff. They find out these women got their own money. Like, once again, another millennial I know, real cool with it. She's having a house built. But then I know some who got jobs, everything. These women don't need money. I mean, men for money like they used to. Now, yeah, you got all these level up women, but if you look at it, that man got to have an extraordinary amount of money. He can't have just a little bit. They looking for that just so they don't have to do anything. But if you're talking about a man who just got a regular job, regular money, even a regular home, the women like, we got that. Shit. Even where I live and stuff, I be seeing women pushing I push a modest car. They be pushing BMWs, Lexuses, Mercedes. Be pushing it. Be like this and stuff. Be hanging over and stuff. I remember one time I saw this woman. She was pushing like a red convertible. I forgot what it was exactly, but it was looking nice. And some dude was trying to holler at her from the back seat of a car with a group of guys and stuff waving to her. And she was like, I was like, seriously, so they don't need it. But the thing the women need, though, I don't care what their age is, they still got a sex drive. And see, the real game is getting sex any damn way. That's always been the game. And women, they still respond to a certain type of man, certain build and everything. You know, look a certain way. They still respond to it the same way. Same way they've done for decades, at least going back, at least, I know from personal accounts, at least going back to the 20s. I'm saying from personal accounts. I've talked to a lot of elders, and shoot, both of my grandfathers, one grandfather had an extra family, the other grandfather had 10 kids outside of his marriage. Shit. That's at least 10. That's why, that's on my paternal grandfather's side. That's why it was funny. I met this woman. She was Creole. I had to check with her background and stuff. If I meet any women, they got that Louisiana Creole background. I always gotta I be asking questions about their family. I be like, hey, how well you know your grandfather? What do you look like? That be seriously. So, that's how deep the shit is. So it's always been the same. So for the select man, it's always been the same. There ain't been no change. Women been the same. They just free now to do their thing. They just free now to do their thing. And that's the thing to understand. That's the thing to get. That's the thing that a lot of dudes got to really realize. And it hasn't changed. That's why if you look at what I talk about, I'm talking about sex. A woman's vagina hasn't changed. I want somebody to come on here and tell me how a woman's vagina has changed in the last million years. Please, I'm serious. They still got the same thing. Because remember, what's the main thing a woman look at a man for? And she want to hook up with him? Procreation. And even when she get past the age of procreation, she still want that pleasure because it's a pleasurable experience. So when a woman looking for a man, she's judging him for sexual worthiness. Now, used to be they couldn't. They had to just deal with who they're going to deal with because of the economic situation. A lot of them couldn't work. Cultural stuff. Maybe their religion says, hey, you got to get married. Social class, especially if they upper class. But once women got freed up from all of that, they were like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. I can get that seed and still work. Indeed, there's a whole lot of women out there. They either getting a sperm donor because they still want that baby no matter what. Sperm donor or the old-fashioned sperm donor. There's a lot of women out there. They'll pay for a dude's sperm, or they'll mess with them, have sex with them and stuff, and then break up from them. Then all of a sudden, a few months later, they got some kids. There's a lot of dudes out there. A lot of select men got some kids they don't know about it. And it's not. Look, let me just say something real quick about that. Going to change it real quick. When a woman is a single mother, it's not always that it was a deadbeat dad. It's not always that situation. Now it could be, but it's not always. You gotta ask that woman. There's a whole lot of women. They know what the fuck they doing. They know it. They get their dues for his genes because they already got a job or everything. Seriously. They'll just deal with that guy long enough to get the genes, and all of a sudden, mysteriously, they don't want to deal with them anymore. Mysteriously, they start finding out the stuff, but all they wanted was his genetics. And it's some fucked up shit. But you know what? I just gotta be real with it. That's why I'm always saying, if you really want a woman, you gotta get yourself in your best shape possible. Now all that other stuff is cool, like, and that's why I say you need to make money for yourself. Because women don't need your money like they used to. You need to make money, and when women looking at a guy, she looking at their physicality, how healthy he is. Because that's what the thing, the woman's nature. I don't care where it is. Now it's mitigated by different cultures. Some cultures got some control over it, but they want those genes, and that's why I like paternity fraud. Paternity fraud, they say it's 30% in the times they test for it, but let's be real. The actual number might be higher. No telling where. It could be 50%. Seriously, because with a lot of men, they'll have that baby and they just get close to it. Like, let's be real. A lot of men, they good, and they feel like, oh, oh shoot, nice child. They get that fatherhood thing. They know that kid don't look shit like any of their relatives, but they feel like, you know what? They tight with them. They tight. That's how much they like the child. You know? And so they all want to find out, but then something happened, they find out the hard way. It's jacked up, but see, people got to look at the cold-blooded nature of it. You know? Indeed, that's why I say really don't want to mess. The only reason I don't be in a big hurry to mess with Gen Z is, I'm going to just be real with y'all. I'll just say it straight up. Like I said, I've had 20 pregnancy scares dealing with some women. And, I'm be meeting some women now. They be like, oh, I think you make a pretty baby. I say, I got 2 kids. Got 2 kids eating my ass out of house and home and shit. Man, they be eating. Man, my boys got me like, they got me gift cards to restaurants they like to eat at. Restaurants they like to eat at. They got me, oh, yeah, daddy, yeah, here you go. I was like, oh, yeah, you like this restaurant. You like that. So, but nah, I'm focused on my sons. I don't want no more kids. Even though my youngest son, he said he like a sister. I'm like, shit. But, yeah. But seriously, that's the thing. That's the thing. And I say, I was gonna hold back talking about stuff like that, but I'm getting to the point. We gotta be honest with dudes out here. Dudes doing all this other stuff, and even in my book, Sexual Chemistry, I say the highest honor a woman could tell a man is she want to have his baby. And heck, one of the few women I mess with around my age, one of the few, she in her 50s, can't have kids no more. Of course, she actually said to me, she said she wish she had met me younger. She'd have popped out 2 for me. Damn, I had another one say she'd have popped out 7. I don't know. But that's what this shit come down to, man. And if a dude, I mean, seriously, that's the change. That's the only real change, and that affects non-select men. Select men, that's a big part of that is always a sexual angle to it. Because the main men at the top of that select pole are, the men who got that raw sex appeal, turning women on their way. But then you do get some men who got, money and status in there, but they still got to be in shape. They still got to have some degrees of looks to them, And when I say looks, I do mean they got to fix up everything, and they still got to have a body to them. Because I challenge somebody to tell me, other than a millionaire, like a millionaire just totally jacked up, I mean, the only way somebody could get away from that, having some type of physicality, some kind of physical sex appeal, is and have money and stuff to get the women. They pretty much got to be a billionaire or something. And then even then, if a baby comes up, they better do a paternity test. That's how deep that shit is. And trust me, there's some women at that level. They'll get that man's money. He'd be looking for a kid. I would strongly recommend a paternity test. Seriously, that's how deep it is. When women, because understand something, it hits women on a primal level. That's why women mess with certain dudes. They want to have their baby. Even if it's primal, even if the woman's common sense or whatever it is of it says, oh no, can't mess with this particular dude, shoot. And if a JJ started dancing and shit, what the fuck? And that's a primal level. In fact, that's the highest level, really, when you hit a woman on that level. But see, a man can get there, get in his best shape, and work on being virile. That's the highest thing. So, anyway, that's all I got for now. But that hasn't changed. That primal thing. In fact, that's it. That for the select man, genetic alpha male. It hasn't changed. Nothing's changed. It's going to be that. Now, for everybody else who don't want to do that, oh yeah, a lot has changed. A lot has changed. And I'm going to tell you what, oldest law in nature, survival of the fittest. Think on it. Peace.